Hello, Marvel fam. Welcome to the episode of Marvel Talk with your hosts,
Nick
and Chris. And we got something good to talk with you about tonight.
We do. It's the Thunderbolts. This is so we've decided, because our original video was going to be a spoiler-free, but the whole video was just like, we wish we could tell you guys about it.
Yeah.
So moving forward, our reviews will just be a week after. So if you want our first impression of what we saw, go on TikTok as we do our first impressions on there, which will be in the link with our Instagram. So go check those out, and we're gonna get right into it right now. So I did have notes that I did put. So on my regular Instagram, I usually post movies and shows and stuff like my private Instagram is all about just pictures of what I like and what I enjoy, and if I go see a movie, a regular, Instagram. And what I put into my words on what I think about it is, sometimes a great villain can be our inner demon, and that letting go of our hard past and choosing to be better is always the right choice in life. And then of course we're going to talk about the end credit and that it's worth watching, and I definitely didn't expect this to be good or even care about it, and I cared about it, and I'll tell you what I gave it at the end of the video like we always do. But yes, that were my thoughts on it, and I really loved it. The Sentry was great. They did a great job with him. One of the things that I personally want to talk about is one of the characters in particular, and it is Taskmaster. Now, you guys know I'm not a Taskmaster fan, at least this one,
MCU one,
Earth Many Nines. And they had a chance to do something with her, but they just killed her off.
Yep.
I couldn't even laugh. I thought it was funny, but I didn't laugh because I just can't believe that happened. Especially when you have this be around Taskmaster. I do feel bad for the actress who does play as Taskmaster, as she was at the premieres and everything, and releasing like the new Avenger logo
and the posters.
Yeah, just for her to be like only in the movie for like what, 5-6 seconds, 10, 15 seconds maybe. So that was very disappointing. I will definitely give you that. It was very disappointing.
Yeah, certainly was crazy.
I mean, to be honest with you, if you took her out of this movie, nothing would have changed. It would basically just be an extra character. And there were like leaks of what she was originally going to be in the movie. But to be honest with you, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have mattered. It would have been fine with or without her. The movie just felt right without her. Yeah. And I feel like if you just put her in there, it would just be like, she's just there.
Yeah.
At least that's my opinion on it. I don't know what you guys thought about that, but for me, it was really just, oh shit, well, there you go.
Yeah.
Wouldn't have changed. Nothing really would have changed. But the characters that are in it, the new Avengers or the Thunderbolts, are all
appearing. As it turned out, that's what the asterisk meant.
I also find it funny that the Wasp is the only non-official Avengers character.
Yeah. Because
we have Ant-Man and now Ghost as the Avengers. And I guess we could talk about all of them now, like Ghost. I really liked her in this. Yeah. What's interesting is that I didn't think they were going to do anything with her when we last saw her in
Ant-Man and the Wasp.
I was really just like, wow. Just a character that you'll just see in this movie and never see again. And they made her really likable. Yeah. I actually liked her in this.
Me too.
Like, that's what you have to do with characters like these, is if you're going to reintroduce them, you got to get them lovable, you got to get them going. And I think they did a really good job with that.
Yeah.
Then U.S. Agent, which everybody was shitting on when Winter Soldier, Falcon and Winter Soldier came out. And I thought that he was really good in that. And he was great, too. His whole character, getting divorced, apparently. Him too busy about what people think of him. And he turned his shit around. And it was really cool.
Yeah.
And then, like, Yelena and Red Guardian were amazing. Of course, they were going to be, like, the real main stars of this. Especially Yelena.
And, of course, don't forget Bucky.
Oh, one of my favorite Earth Many Nine characters, or just MCU characters.
And I'm sure a lot of us can agree on that, too.
Oh, he was fantastic.
Yes.
It's so weird seeing him in this new position, but he does it really well. Yeah. And, of course, him washing his arm, which I thought was so funny because it was apparently spoiled in Rivals, and I didn't think it was going to be an actual scene in Thunderbolts. I thought it was just a fun emote. But he actually does the whole thing. The emote is him just taking out the arm and then putting it on. So I thought that was really cool.
Yep.
And like, so like that whole team were amazing.
Yeah.
I genuinely loved the cast of this. And then of course, Bob.
Yeah. Slash Sentry slash Void.
Yes, which I did do a Bob the Builder joke many times in that movie.
Yeah. Yep. And apparently somebody even made a joke with it on Facebook. We saw.
Yeah, Christopher sent it to me. I was like, of course.
Yeah.
But him as the Sentry.
Amazing.
I know there was supposed to be a different actor for this. But thank God they did not go with him.
Yeah, this guy did great.
Thank God. Because I would not have liked it. I already wasn't a fan of this guy being Sentry. So them taking this new guy and putting him in was amazing. And he rocked as Sentry. Especially when they made fun of the joke with the blonde hair. Which was really great. And he was just one of my favorite characters in this movie. Like, my two favorites were definitely Yelena and, of course, Sentry. And they have a great relationship thing they're going to go with. And I really love it.
Yep.
And Bob is such a relatable character, especially to me personally. And he's just like, wow, it's like such a great movie. And Yelena just, fighting that emptiness and, learning and having her relationship with Red Guardian was great. And there's like funny moments, a lot of funny moments in there. One was unintentionally funny with this little girl being like taken away.
Yeah.
That I laughed at.
Yeah, that was funny.
Everyone laughed at that one. That was funny.
Yeah.
Because Red Guardian's like, I saved you, yeah. And she's smiling, she's like, boop. And I was just like, oh shit, that was funny. I was like, that's fucked up. I thought it was funny. Like,
was
wow.
funny, though.
I'm also very curious on how like Spider-Man, what was Spider-Man seeing, like probably Mr. Stark and like, Aunt May. And then like Daredevil was probably thinking of the past and everything. So, that's what I was thinking of after the movie.
Yeah.
Like, what is our New York heroes doing?
Yeah, like since since Void technically like covered his entire
whole New York.
Yep.
It was crazy.
So yeah, I do wonder what happened with that.
And then of course, the real villain in this,
Yes.
the lady
Valentina.
What an amazing character still. Just amazing. She was the real villain in this.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I think she's one of the best villains out there. Doesn't care about anyone but herself. Basically, this whole movie is just her covering up her shit. And basically, how she saves her ass is basically just being like, here's the new Avengers. But the new Avengers own her now because they're like,
Yep, Elena said that.
yeah, you owe us now. It was so good. And then like the ending, obviously, was just the Fantastic Four coming in.
Yep, apparently they're traveling to Earth many nines.
So it wasn't a very long trailer. They said it was going to be like, what, 20 minutes or something? 16 minutes?
No, 6 minutes.
Right.
But
I could have swore someone said on Twitter that it was going to be like a whole 16 minutes connecting thing. But then the guy that we saw on at the comic book shop for Comic Book Wednesday said 6 minutes. So I heard two different things.
Yeah.
I heard two different things. But I figured it was going to be 6 minutes because like a 16-minute trailer sounds, little end credits a little ridiculous. But people tweet baiting, like clickbaiting or whatever. But yeah, basically, there you go. That was really it. So we're gonna see what that happens in Fantastic Four.
Yeah, because I'm definitely wondering myself. Like, I wonder what happened with them.
And yes, of course, at the end of the movie, they did say that the new Avengers will return. They seem to be doing this with the movies. At first, when they were doing, I was like, oh, interesting. Okay. Because at the end of these movies, they would say, like, Doctor Strange would return.
Or Thor will return.
Yes. And so I didn't know what that meant until, like, when they said, it will return. So I was like, oh, so they're basically telling us that these characters are going to head into, like, the big screen, like they're going to be connected to this. I thought that when they meant Thor would return would be like the next Thor movie, Thor 5, along with like the other things. I didn't know they were actually leading to the actual like Doomsday. So that's really cool that they explain that now with that.
Yep.
So yeah, that was very good. I was really happy with it. The action's great, the comedy's good, everything feels right.
Yep.
There are things that could have been better, I want to say, for sure. For 100% sure. But it was still great. I really did enjoy it.
Yeah, me too.
I'm giving it an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, same. 8 out of 10.
I think if they done a few things better, and really just focused on a few of like the non, like, just some things felt a little off. especially with Taskmaster just dying. Even though that I said nothing would change about the movie, it just felt very weird that you have this character that you've been advertising. If you didn't advertise her, I feel like I wouldn't be like giving it a little nitpick, because like I said, regardless, nothing would have changed. The plot would have stayed the same. You just would have had an extra character just kind of be pointless.
Yeah. Even though this Taskmaster meant nothing to us originally.
Yeah, like
in the
it was
first
such a
Black Widow
letdown.
movie.
Such a letdown, in my opinion. I don't think I ever really talked about my disappointment of Taskmaster.
Yeah, from Black Widow.
Because we didn't do Marvel talk at that time.
Yeah, that was 2021.
Yeah, so for me, it was very disappointing. So like I was like, I didn't really care, but it's just weird.
Yeah,
the advertisement ruined it for me, because that's why I'm like, if they fixed that, and maybe if they did some other things, like the fight scene with them fighting Sentry was perfect. Loved it. Really shows that they didn't have a chance, and then they realized that. I just kind of wish that they just like I said, didn't advertise Taskmaster, because that was a hype. Like they were showing that they're all gonna be important just for not. So regardless, I am gonna give that a little bit of like a nitpick right there. You should have just not had her be in the promotion, have her come in, die, basically just prove our point that nothing would have changed. So there you go. I would say like, besides that, other things I would probably change, as I would like them to have more of like time to be a team. While yes, the pacing was great, they all just didn't really have like a full time to really connect. It was all fast paced. It worked. Yeah. Like it worked, but I kind of wish that they had more time together, if that makes sense. But like I said, that's just a nitpick. Because it does work out at the end, but I feel like it would have made them stronger, rather than just like they're all just acquaintances, because they all act like they're friends like towards that end when they have that moment. I kind of just wish that they had more time to build that up. Other than that, if they fix those two things with Taskmaster being way overhyped, and then like that, I would have probably gave it like a 10 or like even a 9, depending on how well that did. But yeah, and 8's still great. I didn't really care about this movie when this was first released. I will give you that. I will be the first one to say it. I did not care when they announced it. I was like, oh, cool, Bucky and Yelena and Red Guardian. Cool, you know, I'm not really going to care. Here, I loved it. It's not like Captain America, which now I give it a 5 out of 10, because with that, I was like, oh, you know what? They did good with what they had. They did good with what they had. I'm going to give them that. I didn't realize how nice I was to that movie. When I saw this, a movie that I didn't even care about, and saw it good, I was like, yeah, you know what? I feel like, even though I did enjoy Brave New World, it's not the worst, but it's not the best. Like I said in my review, I did say in my review that it's not the best.
Yes.
But giving it a 7 was very generous, and I gave it a 7 because I just want to make this very clear, was that I loved how they made it work with what they had, with the rescripts and everything, because they did make it enjoyable. I should not have done that.
Even though still they really fucked up Leader.
They did hard. Like, yeah, they fucked up
they even
Leader.
revealed they actually had what he was going to look like.
Oh,
like
yeah.
He was really going to look like
we showed in the video when we did the review. And then like with Red Hulk 2 was so disappointing. Cool, disappointing. Yeah. But like, I feel like I gave them too much credit with what they were trying to fix, and I should not have done that. And I'm going to be more careful how I think of things like that, because I was just thinking about, wow, they actually turned this around and made something decent. I should not have done that. So I'm going to focus on that moving forward. So as of right now, that's a 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
This is like an update to that. But yes, it is an 8 out of 10 Thunderbolts. Go watch it, or New Avengers. I'm also surprised that they didn't wait long enough to call it the New Avengers. They just, like, a couple of days after, they just announced that it's no longer Thunderbolts.
Yeah, literally, like, it's like the day after we watched it, it became that.
Yeah.
Which is a funny coincidence. Like, we finally see it, now it's, like, everywhere.
Yeah, we saw it Saturday, right?
Yeah, last Saturday.
Yeah, last Saturday. And we were like, oh, yeah, cool, so it's going to be called Avengers. Like, we couldn't say anything. Good, yeah. You know, we couldn't say anything because, you know, but, like, they already were like, yeah, well, they already spoiled it. Which I did make a post on it on our Instagram, which you can check, and one of our friends actually commented saying, I kind of wish that they didn't force it, and I commented 100% agreed, because they should have just waited a few months so that people could see it, or even just a couple of weeks. Yeah. So that was disappointing, but they're like, hey, this is why you should go opening weekends, and a lot of people don't like opening weekends, so I feel like that is unfair, but it is what it is. And yeah, what do you have to add to that?
Well, yeah, I think you pretty much covered everything. Definitely enjoyed this movie very much. But yeah, I definitely love Yelena, Bucky, Red Guardian, U.S. Agent very much. And Bob, of course. And Ghost was a good character too. And yeah, Taskmaster, it's like, you know, that whole thing you said already is all true, but I didn't really care as much either, because since this Taskmaster of the MCU is like...
Really,
anyway.
I was so you know how disappointed I was.
Yeah.
You know how I was so disappointed. I have like a whole... I reworked his whole... Like, I made like a little list of just what they could have done with this character after, like, make him a mercenary. They could have had him in Shang-Chi. They could have had him work for the Kingpin. They could have done so much with them, but like, no, it's this. So I was like, oh, shit. But, and like I said, they should not have advertised her. It wasn't fair to people who were excited for it. And like I said, regardless if she stayed in it, nothing would have changed. But you still, it's like the Multiverse of Madness thing. You overhyped something that just wasn't there. So there you go. But yeah, that's how it is. So yeah, it's an 8 out of 10 for me.
8 out of 10 for me too.
And we recommend you guys go see it. And we want to thank you all so much for watching. And if you enjoyed, leave a like. We are trying to get 200 subscribers by the end of the year. Same for Instagram. And we have nothing for TikTok yet, but if you keep following us there, we'll have a goal. But yes, so thank you all for watching. Let us know what you thought of the Thunderbolts or the new Avengers in the comments down below. And we will see you guys in the next one. Excelsior.
Enough said.